All right, good evening, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody having a great time so far. Continue to enjoy your food right now. Everybody hear me okay right now? Good deal. All right, my name is Dan Ingham, and I've had the absolute privilege the last 9 years to be the voice of the Baylor Softball team, so I'm thrilled to be here tonight for this dinner on the diamond. So let's get everybody excited. Have a big round of applause to get things going right here, okay? This is awesome. What a cool thing to do, to come here and celebrate, have a good time, raise some money. We'll have more on that in a little bit, but this is going to be a really special night. And so what I want to do right now is introduce you to the very talented, the very fun 2024 or 2025 softball team, I should say. So if you look over there, we're going to be introducing the players from coming out of the tunnel, if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the entire roster so you guys can get a good look at the team. There's a lot of newcomers on the squad here, and we're going to go ahead and go one by one and introduce you to them. So we'll get started first with number 00, a senior infielder from right here in Waco, Emery McDonough. Next up, number 1, a sophomore infielder from Corpus Christi, Texas, Leah Cran. Wearing number 2, a freshman from Carr, Colorado, a pitcher, Sadie Ross. Wearing number 3, a senior from Truro, Iowa, a pitcher, Ava Knoll. From right here in the Waco area, number 5, a senior utility player, went to Lorena High School, Ashlyn Wackendorf. Number 6, a freshman utility player from Crawford, Savannah Pogue. Wearing number 7, a pitcher from Liberty, Texas, Casey West. She's got the wave down, too. She's got to teach that to the freshmen. Wearing number 8, a freshman from East Bernard, Texas, Lexi Warnicki. Number 10, a sophomore infielder from San Antonio, Paige King. Number 11, a junior outfielder from Inglewood, California, Brooklyn Carter. Wearing number 12, an infielder from Katy, Shaylin Govan. Number 15, a senior pitcher from Inola, Oklahoma, Lily Walker. Wearing number 16, a senior from Murrieta, California, an infielder, Presley Pylon. Next up, number 17, a freshman from Macomb, Mississippi, Gigi Lindsay. How about number 24, a senior from Vacaville, California, a pitcher, Dari Orm. Now we have number 26, a freshman infielder from Cinco Ranch, Texas, Faith Piper. Next up is number 27, a senior out of Pueblo, Colorado, Shannon Vivoda. Now we have number 33, a senior outfielder, went to Midway High School here in the Waco area, Caroline Rowett. Next up, number 34, a junior from Huntsville, Jensen Vienne, an outfielder. Now, number 35, a senior from Wellborn, Florida, a catcher, Carson Fryer. Next up, number 36, a junior from Northridge, California, Amber Tovin. Put your hands together for number 41, a senior from New Braunfels, pitcher and an infielder, Aaliyah Binford. Now we've got number 42, a freshman from Beaumont, playing outfield, Carrington Dawson. Next up, number 47, a senior from Spring, Texas, a catcher and an infielder, Taria Coleman. Next up, number 58, a freshman from Hickory, North Carolina, a catcher, Avery Waddell. And last but certainly not least, you pick number 95, you're going to be last when they call out the numbers. A sophomore, also from Beaumont, a catcher, utility player, Abigail Flores. How about a big round of applause for your Baylor Bears softball team? All right, so obviously events like this don't just happen. It takes a lot of planning. It takes you guys being here, so obviously we're grateful for that, but it also takes some generous sponsors, and we're thrilled that we have some amazing ones. First up, how about this food we're eating right now, okay? Hawaiian Bros, pretty good, right? I was told this is one of the favorites of the girls on the team, and so that's why everybody's eating it. But we want to thank the folks at Hawaiian Bros. They're one of the presenting sponsors for this event, so we are so grateful. The more sponsors we can get for something like this, the more money we can put towards the projects we're trying to do. Also, we want to acknowledge Marine Land Boating Center. Ken and Mary Sorley, I think I saw y'all earlier. You guys here? There we go. Stand up real quick. I'm going to embarrass you for a little bit. Stand up real quick. All right, at least give us a wave. All right, will that work? Thank y'all so much for what you guys do. We are so thankful for your presenting sponsor for this event. You might have seen the great boats out when you came in there as well. So we're certainly thankful for the sponsors. This is going to be a fun night, y'all. One thing, we wanted to pause for a moment here. We want to have a moment of prayer before we do the rest of the program. I want to bring up one of those players we introduced just a moment ago from right here in the Waco area. Emery McDonough is going to be saying our prayer.
Yeah, if you'll bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, we just thank you for just being a great God, a God that we can come out here on the field and just celebrate you, just celebrate all the wins we had this past year and all the wins we're going to have this next year. We just thank you and we want to praise you for it all. We just want to thank you for all of our fans and community and family that's all out here tonight, and just let them know how special they are and how loved they are by each of us, that we wouldn't be here or be the team we are without them. So I just want to say a special thanks and prayer over them for who they are, and just we pray that tonight we can just continue to glorify you, and just that everyone here can just see that the Baylor Softball program, all the wins we had, all the mission trips we went on, wouldn't be possible without the great God that you are. So we just want to glorify you. Thank for food that we ate, for nourishment it's going to be for our bodies. And just let us have a great rest of our night. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Emery. At church on Sunday, often my pastor will acknowledge for the folks who are watching at home, and so I figure I should do that right now too. We're also streaming this. I know there's some family members, some Baylor fans from around the country, so we just want to say hello and thank you for supporting Baylor softball from afar. So this is a really special night. What this night is all about. So it's about looking back a little bit. It's about celebrating 2024 season that saw the Bears come so close to getting back to the College World Series, but showing the rest of the softball world that there's still some great softball being played in Waco, Texas, making to the Super Regionals. And it's also taking a look at the 2025 season and how excited we are. We want you guys excited for that. And of course, tonight we're also we're trying to raise some money. This is a special program that deserves special things. And so there's some big plans for a locker room renovation. And so we're asking for your help. And so one thing, I want to give you an update too. So just with you guys being here and with some donations we've already taken in, we've already passed $20,000 in donations. There we go. That's something to cheer about. But we're just getting started, right? We're just getting started. So I want you guys to look at your table. There are easy ways you can give. There actually is a QR code on your table. You can click on that. And it takes you exactly where you need to go to make a donation to this project right now, the Baylor Softball team. If you like to do it old school, traditional way, we can help you too. If you want to make a donation tonight, I want you guys to look over in the dugout right there. That gentleman right there, Harrison with the Bear Foundation. Say hi, Harrison. He is ready to take your money tonight. He is ready. Or talk to you about how to make it easy for you. He can work it out for you. So Harrison's going to be there all night. He is ready to help you out. If you feel moved to make a donation, we certainly would love for you to go ahead and do that. So we're going to have, right now, we want to get you guys fired up a little bit. So why not at this time, we take a look back at the 2024 season. Check out the scoreboard.
It's all three backs of this game for Baylor. It's been in the circle, it's been on defense, and it's been at the plate. There is nothing the Baylor Bears have not been able to accomplish. She swings such a hot bat, she gets missed on that ball. She let go man, go on to right. Bears had their first Big 12 conference sweep of the season. Welcome into Gale Miller Field here in Provo, Utah. Looking for the 3-game sweep here in Provo, taking both games in the doubleheader last night. It's all Baylor here in the second inning. And it's a grand slam for Emily Hott. Bears going to bring one, now two across. That's the Shenandoah man that you hear about, and that's your go right there. Watson with the 2 RBI double. What a play coming in from the hot corner. Watson 3 in to score. First in the Big 12, the Bears taking the sweep of the Cougars.
Back in Oklahoma City, Baylor 17 going to UCF. 2 teams headed into the NCAA tournament. That's in the right field. Gone. Talking about helping your own cause. Nice play here by Coyazos. Down to second for 1, over to first for 2. Such raw emotion and energy in this offense. But 10 strikeout.
For tonight, I mean, she does the difference.
From Lafayette, Louisiana, day 1 of the Lafayette Regional. The Ole Miss Rebels and the Baylor Bears. Deep right, McKay going back, it's gone. 142 strikeouts, that was the most in Big 12. And straight up the first pitch, look out. Highlight, this is no time. Straight looking up, what a catch! Oh my goodness, straight Robin! Dave Smith on a home run! A complete game, 1 hitter.
Words can't describe what I think about a team that can take it the way you did on game 1 and return and play and compete against a team on their home field that's used to advancing, used to fighting in that last day the way they are, and you didn't allow it to happen.
Back in Lafayette, for your winner-take-all game from Fort Wayne Park. Thank you, Mark. It's Baylor and Louisiana for the 3rd time No wonder. What a catch by Binford. Laying out to keep that one from going into left field. Michael Crandall did a couple of roundouts and some gas dinners right now in this Louisiana lineup. All right, look out. Here's Jalen Govan. The one scores Taylor Strain makes it 3 easy. Line drive, that's a base hit. And Baylor goes in front. A 2-run kid there.
They're about to go base hit. They're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw, and it's going to be. Is she out? She's out!
What a game this has been. And now here comes the crowd with full throttle. Strikeout. Randall pumping her fist.
Binford has it, throws to first. Ball game! Baylor is headed to the Super Regional for the first time since 2017.
You are looking live at Presley Stadium in Gainesville, Florida for Game 2 of our Gainesville Super Regional. Let this be Phillips and Field. Love it, ball from the air for Shannon Goodman. There's it in the left field, and a diving catch and left by Emily Hawk.
Baylor is locked and loaded defensively this season.
The senior flies it into left field. Tapping for third is Watson.
What a season. Despite an incredible senior class, they put together such an awesome season.
That was fun to watch, wasn't it? That was a great season. That was a lot of fun to watch last season, and just kind of taking a look back. What a special year it was. So how about some of the stats from last year? A lot of cool stats to talk about when you talk about the 24 team. Baylor carried the #1 strength of schedule for most of the season. Baylor faced 10 ranked opponents during the season, totaling 26 games against ranked teams. So like half the games were against teams that were ranked, just about. Baylor played 43 games against RPI teams in the top 75. Baylor faced the #1 team in the country 7 times. The first time since 2017, the Bears have had 2 players with double-digit homers, Emily and Shay. First Super Regional appearance for the Bears since 2017, and the team turned 24 double plays, which ties for 3rd most all time. So a lot of superlatives from last year's campaign, no doubt about it. Now, we hear it all the time, and the reality, it's true. These are student athletes. They're great players here on the diamond, but year after year, Glenn Moore's team succeeds in the classroom as well. And we want to honor some of those folks right now. Some folks that were named to the All Big 12 academic team. Some of the seniors were on there as well, but we want to honor the folks that are back on this year's squad. So I'm going to read them off one by one, and you can just kind of wave to everybody when we call your name. We want to get you a little recognition here. Aaliyah Binford was academic All Big 12. Shaylin Govan. Caroline Rowett. Shannon Vivoda. Casey West, and Abigail Flores. Congratulations, ladies. Let's do it again this year. Also, at this time, I want to invite a couple folks. In fact, they were academic performers, but I want them to go ahead and come up right now because we have some special things we want to do right now for Aaliyah Binford and Shay Govan. So as you're coming up, I want to tell you a little bit about, first I'll start with Aaliyah Binford. She's going to be getting an award here. She had a special year last year. She was named All Big 12 second team, and she was also NFCA All-Region second team, led the Big 12 in strikeouts, 153. Batters struck out looking 54. In the top 5 in Big 12 in games started, innings pitched, and complete games, and tied a career high with 11 strikeouts 3 times this season. And now I think, Glenn, we have an award that we're giving. Is that right? Yeah. There we go. They're all Big 12 performer, Aaliyah Binford. And also up here we got Shaylin Govan. All she did last year was get named All Big 12 first team, NFCA All Region first team. the NCAA statistical champion for on-base percentage, an academic All-American, first-team academic All-American. She had a .739 slugging percentage. That's the fourth best ever at Baylor. 48 walks, best her single season record, which she had the year before. On-base percentage, ridiculous, .579. That's the best ever at Baylor. .444 batting average. That's the second best ever. Led the Big 12 in on-base percentage and batting average. Led the country in on-base percentage. 7th in the country in batting average. And 11th in the country in walks per game. So congratulations to both of them. You got your awards. And so you guys aren't done yet. I think we're going to ask you guys a few questions now. So you guys can come over here. I bet both of y'all are used to getting a lot of hardware. All right, so we wanted to interview the folks with all the hardware here. So I'm going to start, Leah, since you sat right there, you get the first question, okay? Easy question. Favorite memory from the 2024 season?
That was a hard one, but after a lot of thought, it was definitely our team playing against ULL, just the way we came together, and it was beautiful to see.
All right, when you guys lost that first game, how did you come back and win the second game like that? I mean, that's not easy to do, turn around like that.
Short-term memory loss, and we weren't going to let them beat us. We weren't going to let them take us out.
That's all right. You got to forget about it right away. I like that. All right, how about you, Shay? What is your favorite memory from last season?
I think it's crazy because that's what I said my favorite memory was against UL. It was just basically last season we went through, the highs and lows, and I feel like that game showing back up after, taking a hard one was just exactly what our season was about, coming out strong, and I feel like that's exactly what we did.
It was a lot of fun for us to watch too, I'll tell you that. How would you, if someone asked you to describe the postseason run last year, how would you describe it?
Definitely a testament, not only to God, but to the team. And like Shay said, we went through a lot of highs and lows. And from the outside looking in, you couldn't really tell the things that our team was going through. But it was a testament to the dedication, the heart, and just that this team was never going to quit. And that's all I saw throughout last season was that's what we were. We were never going to stop. We were going to keep working and keep showing people that we deserve to be where we are.
I love it. Same question to you. What do you remember most about that postseason run?
I just remember a lot of the laughs and everything that we had. It was awesome to see. No matter what was going on, our team was pretty much laughing. We were just trying to turn things around as quick as we can and go out and play Baylor softball.
I'll interject. So every year before the season, I have a little meeting with Glenn Moore. I say, tell me about your team. And he said, I like this team. They like each other. They're a lot of fun. And that played out throughout the year. He told me that in February, and you guys were a lot of fun. He really enjoyed coaching you guys. All right, I'm going to ask you now, what would you like the legacy from last year's team to be?
I've thought about this one since I got told the question. It was kind of hard for me to decide because I feel like that team just embodied everything that involves Baylor, and I just want the legacy to be seen that we were Baylor. I mean, we were Baylor softball. We were everything that Baylor embodied, whether it's Christianity, heart, dedication, loyalty, love. It was just everything, and I want other teams to see that in our team.
Great answer. What would you like the legacy to be?
I would just say to never quit. No matter how much hard work that you put in, even though it won't show right then, it's going to show at the end. And I feel like that's exactly what happened with our team, knowing the girls personally and all the hard work they put in and seeing it come in and all the pieces coming in at the right time. That was awesome to see. And
I would imagine you're pretty excited about writing a new chapter for Baylor softball.
Most definitely.
How about you? What are you excited about for this year?
Just to have all these new pieces and, after losing a lot of our seniors that we loved, having these new people and new personalities come in, I'm excited to see what we can do.
We are too. Let's put our hands together for Aaliyah Benford and Shay Govan. Thank you, ladies. Nice job. Got to get all those trophies now. All right, at this time, we want to give out the Tory Burke Luke Award. And first, I want to tell you a little bit about the background of this award. This award is given to a Baylor supporter who has demonstrated a love for the softball program and the university in the same manner that Tory did. Tori was from Moore, Oklahoma, and graduated from Westmore High School. She played softball here at Baylor for Coach Paula Young from 1996 to 1999. Tori met John Luke here at Baylor, and the two were married in 2002. Tori and John had baby Hunter in July of 2004. 1 month later, while traveling with her mom back from introducing Hunter to her Oklahoma family, Tori was tragically killed in a car accident. Her mom and Hunter survived. Tori's last words were, "Is Hunter okay?" She was told Hunter was okay, and she closed her eyes and entered the arms of Jesus. Today, Hunter is a redshirt freshman on the University of Kansas football team. A tree was planted outside of the Baylor softball locker room in her memory, and the award that we will now present is named in her honor. So it's a real special treat tonight to tell you about this award. And we want to tell you that the 2024-2025 recipients are Gary and Joy Bone. They are some special fans. In fact, they helped fund the mission trip that this program takes part in, sent 9 softball players on a mission trip in the last 3 years. So we'll give them a big round of applause. They are not here tonight, so instead we have a video that I want you guys to watch.
Good afternoon from Mechanicsville, Virginia. We are part of the Richmond, Virginia metro area. We have our love for Baylor University. It started when my mom was a part of the class in 1940. I was in the Baylor class in 1970. Our son graduated from the class in 2001. And now our granddaughter is a part of the class of 2027. We are a Baylor family.
I was a team chaplain. He allowed me to be the team chaplain for 7 years. And I had many arrive on some big buses to Oklahoma City and other cities around Texas. And it was there that I got to visit with the girls and got to visit with Coach Moore and his staff even after that. And it was because of that commitment that I saw that I could work with Glenn and could at some point maybe have a positive effect on the girls' lives.
Well, we wish for this year to be absolutely fabulous for the 2025 team. Sickle Bears.
How about it? Yeah, we already got. How about it for our wonderful winners this year, Gary and Joy Bone? We are certainly thankful, and they're certainly deserving winners. All right, this time I want to bring up someone that you may not know, but you should know if you don't. Her name is Corey Bolts. She is the Senior Associate Athletic Director for Student Athlete Success, and she's also the Sport Administrator for the Baylor Softball team, and she has an important message for you guys as well.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Well, good evening, everyone. It's good to see all of you. Grateful for each of you being here. Family, friends, supporters of Baylor Softball. For those that are joining online, we're super grateful for y'all joining in and being part of this special evening. As Dan mentioned, I get the privilege of being the sport administrator for softball. What I tell our parents when they come on visits is I just do whatever they ask me to do and provide as much support as possible. And I've been in this role now, I think I might be in my 5th year at this point. And I'm not a softball girly, never played softball, it wasn't my thing, but being around the team has truly made me appreciate, 1, the sport, but then 2, the women that are a part of this sport. So when we think about the ask and the call of what tonight is all about and what Dan mentioned around being able to do something special for this wonderful group of women, I don't think there's any group more deserving than this one to be able to have the upgrades to the locker room that we're asking for and that we're really trying to get donations for. So when we think about the importance of giving, yes, they're great, but then also softball's a great place to give to because of all the things that they're doing. So you heard about how things went athletically. We'll talk in a couple of minutes about what's happening on the team spiritually. And then that also doesn't even take into account what these women are doing in the classroom, what they're doing in their community, how they're pouring and investing into a lot of different areas, and then the successes that they'll have even after they leave here. And I think a lot of that is attributed to our coaches and support staff for choosing to look at our women as more than just athletes, but as young women and as people that need to be holistically developed and ultimately prepared to be champions for life. So my hope is that you may hear something this evening or have interactions with members of our team that help speak to who we are and what we're about, but then also help stir up your heart around giving in any amount towards what we're trying to accomplish for this group. And as was mentioned earlier, everything that we are donating today and over the next few months as we explore this campaign will be specifically geared toward our locker room renovations. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to. A locker room hasn't had a lot of love here in the last, I don't know, Coach, 15, 20 years? 24 to be exact. So it's time. It's time to do something great. It's time to spruce it up. And our women are ready for that. I did get an update from Danny. We've been getting some different giving updates as we've been going through the evening. So Dan gave the update earlier. My most recent update is that we have another $18,000 in. So that is super exciting. Thank you to those that have contributed. And then Dan also mentioned our award winners that we just acknowledged. So Gary and Joy Bone sending several of our young women on mission trips. And I think it's phenomenal to be able to get the experience of going abroad, one, but then two, being able to go with the purpose of sharing the gospel. And I would love now to be able to call up some of our young women that participated in the most recent mission trip so that you get to hear about their experiences and how they got to see God work in Costa Rica. So with that, I'm going to call up Casey, Presley, and Shannon. Come join me, please, ladies. And then I'm also going to ask, as they're coming up, come on, Ashlyn and Ava, because we're going to do a big spiritual growth conversation. So 3 talking about mission trip, 2 talking about our spiritual retreats. And I'll have 1 question for each, so we're kind of work this like rapid fire, okay? Don't look so nervous. It's going to be great. Y'all got this. So we'll talk to our first 3 friends about the mission trip, and then we'll talk a little bit about our spiritual retreat and what we do. So Casey, you're on the hot seat first. What I would love for you to do is describe what you did in Costa Rica and what that experience was like.
Okay. So our first 2 days of being there, we got to build a house. Then our 3rd day, we got to go zip lining. And then our 4th day, our final day, we got to go to a soccer academy and get to play with some kids and learn soccer. And then after that, we got to go to the Starbucks farm and have some really good coffee. But I just really want to share with y'all that while being there, we went in with a learning heart, and we got to learn so much from them, and seeing God's love and patience through all of them was so touching. We had no clue how to build a house at all, but the crew there was just so kind and fun and welcomed us right in and let us get to work. Presley was doing a power saw by the end of the first day. But just a funny story, I was nailing drywall into a stud. I think that's what it's called, a stud. And and I got it in there, and this guy named Sergio was watching, and he came over there, and he's like, did that nail go in real easy? I was like, yeah, like, look at my muscles. And he was like, no, that means you missed. And I was like, okay. Okay, so we took it out, and then we just tried again. And that's exactly how the whole building process was. There was no mistake too big that we couldn't fix. They were glad that we were there. We were building it with love. And then we got to go to the soccer academy. And while I was not very good at soccer, let's just say that, I chose the right sport. Anyways, so I was sitting there, I was trying to learn this cool little trick that they were doing they were like kicking the ball behind their leg. So they all went to get a water break, and I'm standing over there, I'm practicing, because I'm like, I'm going to impress them. And this little boy, I say little, he was 18. He came over there, and he was sitting there trying to teach me this trick. And for like 20 minutes straight, he just kept getting the ball and handing it back to me and was like, here, try again, try again. And then when I sort of got it, he celebrated like I just won a national championship. He was so excited for me. But anyways, this just goes to show exactly how our relationship with God is. we fell and we fell and we had mistakes, but God picks us up and he's like, here, let's go again. Let's go again. And that was so fun to see, just seeing God's love throughout the whole entire trip. And it was just such a special experience to be a part of.
Thanks, Casey.
That wasn't short.
It didn't have to be short. I just asked you to answer the question, so you did great. And I think it's amazing, too, to just hear you talk about the variety of experiences you had, but the impact of building a home. I mean, that's huge. And then the connections with the community is amazing. So really, really cool to hear about that. Presley, from your standpoint, what was a standout moment from your time in Costa Rica?
Okay, so I was really nervous before I had gone into the mission trip about the communication barrier, and I feel like for me, we would do small groups every night, and so we would meet up with our small group. And one thing I said in mine that was a big prayer for me going into it was being able to communicate with the community and everyone who was involved in the process, because I just love to get to know people. I feel like I'm a big people person, and so I knew I was going to struggle with that. And the biggest moment for me that I remember is when they had asked, and they kind of just throw you into whatever you get put into, and so they had asked who wanted to go on the roof and do the shingles. And so I raised my hand, and I really wanted to go up there, and I was so nervous because I was like, they don't really give you instructions on what to do. They just throw you up there and give you the gun, and they're like, here you go. And I remember a moment when I was up there, and I was trying to communicate with one of them, and obviously we can't speak the same language, and I was trying, but with gestures and everything, we kind of figured it out. And that was kind of how it was the whole trip, so being able to talk to them, but also not like communicate with Spanish, and they couldn't communicate with English. It was super cool to have the opportunity in many situations like that to have my prayer answered, so that would be it.
Thanks, Press. It's awesome to see God move in that way. And then Shannon, talking about how God moved, just talk to us a little bit about how you saw God during your time in Costa Rica.
Yeah, I saw God in a lot of different ways. I think initially, kind of just seeing the value of perspective. Like I think here, it's really easy to kind of get into a routine and maybe like complain or just kind of fall into a rut. And I think going into that community that was just like engulfed in poverty and things that like I've never seen, but seeing the way that they just shined a light and were so welcoming and just, I don't know, their energy and the way they carried themselves was really special. But also I think seeing the way that, like just how strong their faith was and seeing kind of, hearing a little bit about their life and the process of even being able to have this home, just seeing the way that they surrender daily to God was really special. I think it just goes to show like, if we allow worldly things to fill our cup, it's really easy to be discouraged and disappointed, but I think when you look to God and you do surrender to Him and His plans for you, that you can find joy and peace and love and all of those things in Him. So I think seeing that family just do that and continue to just be so grateful and spread joy was really, really special to see. So.
Thank y'all so much. It's awesome to hear your thoughts. Appreciate you. You're now off the hot seat. Thank you so much. It's neat to be able to be part of a program in an institution where you get to have these type of conversations. You get to have these types of experiences. And one of the things I appreciate about our softball team is every year before the season, we do a spiritual retreat. And during that time, it's 2 days of dedicated personal and spiritual development. And I got the privilege of being able to be a little bit more involved last year in being a fly on the wall and being able to see some of the evening and some of the experience. And to know that a team is taking that amount of time before we touch a field, before we do anything else, to really identify what the true meaning of all of this is and who our true source of everything is, and really centering around the ultimate provider of it all, which is Jesus Christ. I really was moved by the experience. And during that, for the last couple of years anyway, during that we've had some of our student athletes get baptized. And two of the women that are up here right now are also two of the women that got baptized this past year. And yes, let's celebrate that because that is amazing. And what I want to do is just have them share a little bit about our spiritual retreat and then also how you're seeing God in this team. Okay, so Ashlyn, we'll start with you.
Okay. Tell a little bit about the spiritual retreat. Okay, so our spiritual retreat, it's usually, like, personally one of my favorite times of the year. The last couple years we've gone to a girl on the team, their ranch house, and it's just beautiful out in the woods, and it just, personally, I think being in nature and seeing nature, that connects me to God, so it's just being out there is just one, or you already feel closer to God. But the whole time we're doing like little Bible studies and like team group talks, like little group talks, and you're just growing closer to God the entire time, even if you're not trying to. It just kind of happens. That's how it is. Your turn? Yep.
Hi, my name's Ava Knoll. A little backstory about me. I transferred here January of 2023. And my first team outing was the spiritual retreat. I just got to campus, just moved into my apartment, wasn't even in the team-only group chat, had to ask what time we needed to meet in the parking lot to go on this spiritual retreat. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Anyway, we get to the parking lot, we all get in vans, and I know like 3 people on the team. I barely know anybody's names. I was in the van looking at the roster, trying to get the names and faces and all the things down. And we drive to the ranch, and everyone's running to get their bedrooms. I didn't even know what was going on. You didn't even give me a heads up. But we get there, everyone's getting beds. Next thing you know, all the beds are taken. There's only a couch left. Me and last year's senior, Emily Hott, end up getting this couch. I didn't even know her name was Emily. I was literally on the roster. I'm like, who is this girl? Looking at where she's from, looking up her family on Facebook, all the things. Anyway, so that was my very first spiritual retreat, very first team outing, and my eyes were opened in the best way possible, and I really learned what Baylor Softball was about going on my first team outing at the 2023 spiritual retreat. Fast forward to this year, I knew it was time to get baptized, something I always wanted to do. And I just had grown so much spiritually with the girls and the team and all the awesome people that helped me grow, finding a home church here, all the things. Felt like it was a perfect opportunity to have that full circle moment and get baptized at the spiritual retreat and be baptized with my sisters in Christ and the team and the staff. And it was a great experience, and it's something I will always hold near and dear to my heart, and it was just a full circle moment that I will always be thankful for.
So beautiful, and because you shared your journey, I'm gonna put Ash on the spot too. Can you talk to us about what led to you deciding to be baptized?
Okay, so getting a little deep here, but prior to probably like a little over 2 years ago, I just wasn't very, I did not have any faith at all, I'll put it that way. And I used to be like scared to say that, or I didn't feel comfortable saying that, but I've learned through my teammates and like our coaching staff that it's okay because everyone's walk is different. And the reason I got baptized and the reason that I knew that I wanted to be baptized is because just being with these girls and the staff every single day and seeing the way God works through them in so many different ways, I just knew that I wanted to profess my faith and love for Him publicly with the people that helped me find Him in the first place. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, last question for y'all. Y'all thought you were done. You're not. Last question. It's an easy one, though. Can you talk to the group about how you're seeing God on the team?
I think just so far, like I think Shay was saying earlier, we have a lot of new faces on the team this year, and I think for some people that can be scary, and others it's just kind of like we're not really knowing what to expect. But genuinely, I think all of the girls so far, we're all just gelling super well, and I feel like I've already known all these girls, like even the new ones, for my whole life. So I think just knowing that we have God as our foundation, like we're already unstoppable. So yeah.
While everybody was walking in, there was a slideshow on the scoreboard, just 2 or 3 of us selfies. We call those Girls' Day Out, where we and a younger or transfer or a freshman have a girls' day out, whether that's going on a walk, going to the movies, going to get Dutch Bros, pretty much anything. At first, when the idea was presented, I was a little nervous because we just didn't know the team, and I don't know, hanging out one-on-one with someone you just met is a little nerve-wracking, but I think that was such a great idea and foundation to start our year, start our fall. We were able to just have that one-on-one time, open up with the newbie and talk about our relationship with God, our relationship with each other, with the team, all the things, and I just think you see God through that, just the fellowship and all the things and getting to know someone and the love, so yeah.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Appreciate you sharing of your experience and the things that you've been able to do while being here. The last thing I'll say as Dan's coming back up is my ask of all of y'all is to just continue to pray for the team, pray for each of these young women, pray that God will continue to move within the team the way that he already has and the ways that we know he can. We pray as a staff for them. Obviously, they're praying for each other, but you're really seeing a move of God on the team, and it's awesome to see his hand on the team. This year, our women are leading their own Bible study, and it's been phenomenal. So just really excited and grateful for, yes, the athletic stuff, that's cool, but more so for what's happening spiritually and the future that these young women have because of who they've chosen to put their foundation in. So thank you all for sharing. And then I encourage you to ask some of the folks at your table once we get done with the formal program about a little bit more of what you heard this evening. All right, with that, Dan, it's back to you.
Thank you very much. Let's check in on Harrison. You doing good over there? You still ready to take money over there? People want to bring checks or anything? All right, I want to make sure he was still over there, and we're doing all right. He is ready to go. You heard Ashlyn mention right there, this team has a lot of newcomers. So we thought this would be a great opportunity to meet some of those folks. So if you're one of those 10 newcomers, come on down. Had a large senior class last year, so Glenn and his staff have replenished the group here. What we've kind of done is, so we've kind of put them into 3 different groups here. We have the transfer portal folks, the freshmen who are from a long ways away, and the freshmen who are from Texas and the Waco area closer. So we're doing them kind of in groups here. All right, so first we're going to go with the transfer portal crew. Are you guys ready? Raise your hand if anyone's nervous. Anyone a little nervous right now? Man, you're stone cold. I like it. This is good. You got a good crew right here, Glenn. All right, first up, I want Gigi to come on down. Where you are, Gigi? All right. You didn't know you were going to be first, did you? All right, so since you are new, I'm going to ask all you guys, I want you to say your name and where you came from, and then we'll ask the question after that.
Okay.
I'll hold it for you. You're good. You're good. No, you're good. I'll make it easy for you.
I'm Gigi Lindsay. I'm from Macomb, Mississippi. What else?
Where were you before this?
Oh, I'm not a transfer.
Oh, that's right. I skipped ahead. You know what? I looked at the wrong thing. So I messed up. But we're going to start with one of the freshmen right here because I looked at the wrong list, but you're still up here. Gigi, you're doing great. So tell me. All right, let me make sure all right. So you've gotten to, all right, you came a long way. Mississippi to here is quite a drive. How have you enjoyed Baylor so far, and what's your favorite part?
I've really enjoyed it. My favorite part has been, there's a few things that were my favorite part so far, but like the community, the atmosphere, but it takes the people to make the atmosphere, so my top favorite part is just getting to know everyone, like all the girls that I've watched and looked up to and maybe played against and didn't really know it in the past. Getting to form like a friendship and a bond with them that I know will last a long time, and then gaining a bunch of new sisters and sisters in Christ is amazing, and I love people, and so I've loved to get to know everyone.
Man, we're glad you're here. Thanks for kicking us off right. Thanks for rolling with the announcer who started with the wrong person. You did awesome right there. Now we're going to get to the transfers. Brooklyn, you're up first. Come on down. All right, so tell everybody your name and where you came from.
Hi guys, my name is Brooklyn Carter and I came from the University of Washington.
All right, we are thrilled that you are here. All right, so obviously you played softball at a very high level, and then you entered the transfer portal. You're looking around. What made you say, I want to go to Baylor?
So obviously going into the transfer portal was very nerve-wracking, and obviously you have some doubts. But I think going into the portal was kind of scary for me because I didn't know, who wanted me, like who didn't. So I think Coach Moore was one of the first people who contacted me. He texted me paragraph style, you know how coaches texted me paragraph style, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so invested in me. And then I ended up taking my visit in June, and I was greeted by Coach Newman, Coach Moore, Danny, and Coach Diaz. And ever since I stepped on, Getterman Stadium and stepping in Waco, it just felt right. The community was amazing, and me personally, I wanted to get closer in my faith and like maintaining my relationship with God. So I think coming here was kind of like a blessing in disguise, and I'm closer to my dad now. He lives down in Dallas, so being closer to him and, just having my family here. My mom comes here like once a month, so that's that's been a blessing as well. So I think coming here and meeting all the girls and vibing with them, it's been amazing.
Hey, we're glad you're here. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to Waco. We're thrilled that you're here. All right, Carson, come on down. All right. Tell us your name and where you came from.
My name's Carson Fryer, and I came from the University of Central Florida.
All right, so same question to you. You entered the transfer portal. How do you end up in Waco?
Well, we actually played Baylor during, your series, and we were here warming up, and I, grew up in Florida, didn't know a whole lot about Baylor other than their athletics were really great. And then we came here, and they were playing Christian music during the warm-ups, and I was like, this is so cool, not used to this. So after that, I've always had like Baylor in the back of my head. I just thought it was like a super cool place. And then when I entered the portal, of course, it was like the first thing in my head. And then I reached out to some people who knew a little bit about the program, and they told me all good things. And something I was just really looking forward to was a coaching staff that just really cared about you as a person and not just as a player. And then after talking to Coach Moore on the phone, we had like great conversation about family, faith, all the things, and a little bit about softball. But that just really drawn me toward this place, and yeah.
We're thrilled you're here. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Lily, you ready? All right. So, first of all, tell us where you came from and tell your name so you can meet all the folks here.
Hi, I'm Lily Walker. I'm a transfer from Duke, originally from Inola, Oklahoma.
All right. Is that Southeast Oklahoma?
Northeast.
Northeast, not even close. All right. That's all right. All right. So, I want you to tell us, when you entered the transfer portal, what led you end up here in Waco?
I redshirted my freshman year, so I knew whenever I graduated from Duke, I was going to have an extra year to play. And I was kind of up in the air if I wanted to play or not. Came off a pretty good season at Duke. And so I ended up applying to graduate school at Baylor, and I reached out to Coach Moore, and I was like, hey, could you guys use a pitcher? And he was like, yes, and welcomed me in with open arms. Came on my visit, met all these amazing people that you guys have heard from, and it just really felt like family, even from stepping on the campus for the first time.
You played in the World Series last year. You ready to do it again this year?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to take them back. Let's go.
I like that. Good stuff right there. All right, Taria, come on down. You've played on this field before too, haven't you? That's right. All right, tell us your name and where you came from.
I'm Taria Coleman, and I'm from Houston. I went to the University of Houston as well.
All right. So when you entered the transfer portal, you start looking around. What kind of led you to Baylor?
Well, this would be my second transfer. I started at the University of Oklahoma, and I just feel like God brought me here. When I hopped in a portal, I asked God to lead me in the right direction. And just my first conversation with Coach Moore, I knew that this was going in the right direction, and I just prayed that when I came on this visit, I loved it here, and I did. I loved everything about it, the people, just the location, not too far from home. So I just knew this is the school for me.
And we're thrilled you're here. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
All right, so those are your transfer crew. Then we have a bunch of freshmen we want you guys to meet. We already met Gigi. Now I want Avery to come on down. We want to talk to Avery here. All right, tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Avery Waddell, and I'm from Hickory, North Carolina.
All right, Hickory, North Carolina. Good stuff right there. So you've gotten to compete this fall. You guys had the World Series just recently, and you've gotten to know Waco and Baylor, I would think, a little bit at this point. What have you enjoyed so far, and what's kind of been your favorite part?
Well, I haven't been here for too long, just about like 3 months, but I've enjoyed all the time that I've spent here and all the people that I've met. And one part that really stands out to me is just the faith-based atmosphere here and just how welcoming everybody is, not even just the softball program, but the professors, the trainers, everybody that you work with on a daily basis.
That's awesome. Well, good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right. Sadie is next. Sadie is up. All right, so tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Sadie Ross, and I'm from Carr, Colorado.
All right, good stuff. All right, so again, you're a long way from home, but you've gotten kind of used to the campus, I would think, a little bit. What have you enjoyed so far at Baylor, and what's your favorite part?
I have not enjoyed the heat. It's a little hot, but other than that, I just really enjoy all the teammates. I mean, like, just to get the opportunity to do Bible study every weekend and just really just open up my faith has been such a blessing, and I feel like it's just the right step for me. And not only that, but just the opportunity to be myself here. I mean, I feel like society tells you how you should be these days, and I feel like here you can be yourself and be true.
Unapologetically Christian here at Baylor. We love that. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to some more freshmen, some folks maybe a little bit closer to the area. Let's do Carrington. All right, you've got to compete. First of all, tell us your name and where you're from.
Carrington Dawson, and I'm from Beaumont, Texas.
Good deal. From Beaumont, right here in the great state of Texas. All right, you've got to compete this fall. What has it meant for you to get to compete with this team, and what do you see this squad doing next spring?
This fall, it's honestly been like a dream come true to even play at this level. And the energy and the commitment, the coaches and my teammates, it's just, God, mine went blank. Hold on, guys.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You think this team has a chance to do something special this year?
Yes, we'll definitely make a big statement, and we built a great team chemistry, and it's just gonna grow stronger. And yeah, I can't wait for the spring.
We can't wait to watch it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Savannah, you're next. Come on down. All right, Savannah, tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Savannah Pogue, and I'm from Crawford, Texas.
All right, I've actually met Savannah at the bank before, so we're glad when you opened up your first bank account. So it's good to see you again. So you've gotten to compete this fall. I imagine that much like your teammates, it was an exciting deal for you. What has it meant to you to get to go through the fall, and what do you see this team doing in the spring?
Going through the fall and competing for Baylor has meant the world. Not only is it just competing for a sport here and competing for a community, it's also getting to compete on a platform that allows us to glorify God in every aspect of our sport.
All right, well, go ahead.
And then for the spring, like Carrington said, we've built great team chemistry, and it can only go up from here. And so I'm super excited for the senior girls to keep leading us the way they've been leading us, and super excited for the run we're going to make.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Faith, come on down. Tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Faith Piper, and I'm from Katy, Texas.
All right, from Katy, Texas, not too far from here. All right, you got to compete this fall. Tell you what that meant for you, and what do you think about this team in the spring?
So kind of like Savannah said, it's different competing here. First of all, it's a dream come true just because like every kid here has dreamt of this since we were like 8 years old, 7 years old. But being able to play here, it's just such a blessing. You get to play for people that want to see you succeed. It's easy to come into college and have teammates that are against you, that are wanting your spot, or you're going against upperclassmen. Every single person here wants to see you succeed, so it's a completely different story here. And then it's also different just having teammates and coaches that see you as the person that you can be and want to see you succeed and want to love you and want to care for you and want to pray for you. So it's such a blessing to be here. And then for the spring, we're looking to add some years up there on that board right there.
I like that. All right, thank you very much, Faith. All right, let's give a big round of applause to all of our newcomers right there. Y'all did awesome. Thank you very much. You guys are going to have a seat. Very cool to see such an articulate and talented group of young women right there. At this time, I want to bring the head man up here, Glenn Moore. 24 years the head coach here at Baylor, 16 regionals, 7 super regionals, 4 World Series, broken hip, no, I don't know what you got right there, and hundreds of lives impacted. The man, Glenn Moore.
Well, let's give a round of applause for Big Dan right here, our voice of the Bears, radio. You guys like what he does on the radio? I hear compliments all the time, Dan, and I appreciate you doing this tonight. So I'm going to close this out here and take about 45, 50 minutes. I'll be done. Really appreciate you guys being here. So you look at these beauty queens up here. I don't even recognize half of them when they get dressed up like this, and you think, he really doesn't have a job. See them the other few days out of the week whenever they come to you with their problems, mom and dad, you know what I'm talking about, and they're crying about it. Nah, these girls are really awesome to coach. Let me say something real quick, because everybody here is probably wondering why we have 2 microphones. I was wondering for a while. Well, one's for the PA system and one's for the streaming. So that's why we have 2. Now you know. If you didn't, I may have been the only one that didn't know. But I do want to thank you for coming out. This is a special night. You're sitting on a field, a softball field, that several hundred girls have played on, including Tori Burke-Luke, who was a second baseman right over there at this field, before this stadium was built. But I want to always acknowledge the couple that made this dream possible and put Baylor softball on a map, or made it possible for Baylor softball to do well enough to perform at the highest level, to hang a whole bunch of banners up there, to put some years on that board, see the NCAA regionals, super regionals, Women's College World Series. Yeah, we need to add a few more. We've got a few more coming up from last year that's not up right now. But Ted and Sue Gatterman, Mr. Ted passed on a few years ago, but Miss Sue is here tonight. Miss Sue, if you'd raise your hand, I'm not going to ask you to stand up, but we are so indebted. We are so indebted to them. And I know this stadium is going into year 26. 25, I've had the 26, yes. 24 years I've had the luxury and the blessing of coaching in this incredible facility. And most years we'll be doing a 6 a.m. workout, and I'll have an opportunity to have the girls stand out in center field and just look back at this incredible stadium. There are a lot of stadiums that are really nice now that have been built over the years, but Ted and Sue Getterman raised the bar for women's softball by building the best stadium in the country. At the time, very few people were contributing to women's softball. And because of that, we've been able to attract some of the best athletes in the country to come here and play on this, what you would call a softball field. But actually, for our staff and for this team, you've heard it tonight, this is more than a softball field. This is a mission field. This is a field that changes lives. And we take that responsibility very serious. If you've been a part of this program, you know that being here at Baylor University, having the blessings of bringing student athletes into our lives, or students into our lives, and having just a small window of opportunity to change those lives is a huge responsibility, and one that we don't take lightly. I want you to know tonight that your contributions, both financially and physically, and your prayers play a huge role in changing these lives, not just for the time that they're here, but for eternity. So for that, I want you to give yourself a round of applause. I know you hate clapping for yourself, but you deserve it. Thank you for that. Clap for somebody that's come before you and gone before you that has done the same thing in the lives of these young people. So thank you. We've raised a lot of money tonight, and they're going to benefit from it. They deserve it very much, and I thank you for that. So I want to thank a few people. It's kind of my job here. I want to thank my staff. If my staff, wherever you are, Coach Hoot, Coach Newman, Coach Diaz, I want you to stand up if you would. Could I add the managers to that? Would you stand up? Biz, Bella, Reagan, would you stand up? Thank you guys over there in the corner. Corey, of course, our sports administrator. Thank you guys for all you do for these student athletes. I want to ask the parents and grandparents of the student athletes if you guys would stand up so we can see where you are right now. Stand up or raise your hand if you would. Keep your hand up or let us know where you are. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for trusting us with your daughters. And we appreciate you helping them choose Baylor. And we're going to commit to you to raising them in a way that you'll be proud in these last few years before they head out to this crazy world that we're in. Just grateful for all of you in this school, and want to say a big thank you for that. I thought I was going to get through this without notes, but I couldn't. By the way, Brooklyn, I don't know what texting in paragraph form means. I was pretty proud that I was able to do that, though, by the way. First I've heard of that. I want to also recognize a guy that was our sports psychologist for a long time and a close friend of mine, Dr. Corley, over here beside Miss Sue. Dr. Corley, raise your hand if you don't mind. I know you probably don't want me to recognize you, but you have changed a lot of lives here as well. Debbie Dewey, our president of our Booster Club. Where's Debbie? Debbie's somewhere back over here. Hey, Debbie. Debbie is our president. If you want to join our Booster Club, we would love to have you. You'll get newsletters. Megan does an outstanding job with our newsletters. Join our Booster Club. We need to raise our level of support. You're going to want to be a part of this team. So join our Booster Club. See Debbie if you want to do that, or see Danny as well. Ken and Mary, Marineland Boating Center, you guys have been relentless in your support of Baylor Softball, so we thank you for that as well. And I want to talk a little bit about our team this year. As I said earlier, it is a dream to coach these young ladies, to come to practice every day and see them day in, 6 a.m. weights every 3 days a week, show up every morning. Coach Winger, is Coach Winger here? Our strength coach back over there. Coach Winger is an outstanding strength coach, and his staff show up every morning right there on that line. Some of your parents, hope they're not after me. Hope we don't have something burning down. Right there on that line, parents, when you get those pictures from me, that's where they start out, right there on this beautiful field, and then move to the weight room, and then they show up in the afternoon. The best attitude, they're a pleasure to coach, and they're fun to be around. They're trustworthy, they're loyal. There's 26 of them, maybe a handful at times, but I want to commit to you that these girls are going to make you proud this year. Last year, they did a remarkable thing in going further. No one gave them a chance to get out of the Louisiana Regional, and certainly no one gave them a chance to win at Florida. And they were, I say, 10 feet away from going to the World Series when Shaylin's ball fell just short of the fence. Florida went on to finish number 3 in the nation, so they were a pretty good team. So I was really proud of what we did last year, but I want to commit to you that this team, if they win the offseason, the challenge to you guys, you girls, is to stay committed, to be committed. I want committed athletes. We talk about that often. I don't want a kamikaze pilot that's flown 54 missions. I want someone that's committed every day, in and out, when you come to practice, and they have done that so far. I want to commit to you guys that you're going to see them go a long ways. I don't know, it takes a lot of luck and a lot of things to go in your favor to put 2025 up there on that board, but this team is capable. I want you to know they're capable of doing that. So I'm very, very proud of them, and I'm excited about what the future will hold with them. And I hope you'll support them in a big way. Many of you do, and I appreciate that. So in closing, I just want to say a final thank you to you for being here tonight. We went 3 hours last year. We're 1 hour and 40 minutes almost tonight, so we cut it down. Big applause for that. We cut it down a good bit. That was a big goal. The one I want to thank the most for putting this on is the one that became an aunt last night before last, and came all the way back from Houston. And Danny, if you had walked this way, I don't have anything to give you but a hug, but I just want you to come up here in front of everybody and say a big thank you to you for your commitment to Baylor Athletics. This was Danny's idea to start this about 3 years ago, and she does so many things that are not on her resume, or not on her job description, to make this program better. But the thing that she does the most is she's our team chaplain, and she pours into these girls spiritually every day and every time they need her. And she is the epitome of what a Baylor employee should be. So one more round of applause for Danny. Thank you, Danny. So in closing, if I could get the girls to come back up here one more time and lead the group in the good old Baylor line. They should know it by now. They've been given ample warning, although this is a bomb dropped on them. I want the, yes. And while they're coming up here, because they're going to end the show tonight, I want to recognize a very, very important person in my life who's going to get recognized Saturday as she's inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame at Northwestern State, and that's my wife, Janice. Janice, you got to stand up. Janice is ran track at Northwestern State, and she'll be inducted Saturday. We leave tonight after this is over and head to Louisiana, and we're going to have a Hall of Famer among us. That's enough? That's enough. Okay. Anyway, I've said enough. All right, here we go.
Whoa. All right. You got a second.
That good old Baylor line. That good old Baylor line will fly forever down the where as long as stars shall shine. We'll fling our green and gold afar to light the ways of time and guide us as we onward go down that good old Baylor line. Bum, bum, bum. Hey!